I still remember that cold Monday morning. The sky was gray, and the streets of Canterbury were wet with light rain. I wore my navy blue coat, the one Edward had given me on my birthday years ago. It still smelled faintly of lavender from my wardrobe. As I locked the door of my small brick house, my heart was beating fast. Today, I was going to visit my son after almost 7 years. I had packed a small bag the night before, just some warm clothes, his favorite ginger biscuits, and a little photo frame of him as a boy, holding my hand in the garden. I don't know why I brought it. Maybe I wanted to remind him of who he used to be. Maybe I wanted to remind him that your mother still loves you. Good sons don't forget their parents. Good sons don't keep to long distance. It covers 7 years. Edward lives in Manchester now. A big city, busy streets, and tall buildings, not like quiet little Canterbury, where everyone knows your name. He moved there for work. He said it was a great chance. I was proud of him. Of course I was. But after he got married to Claire, something changed. Calls became shorter. Visits became rare. I tried not to think too much of it. I told myself he was busy. That's what mothers do, isn't it? We forgive and wait. The train ride was long. I sat by the window, watching trees blur into green smudges. I thought about the last time I held his hand. He was crying. He had just lost his job back then, and he came home like a small boy again. We sat on the sofa, and I made him tea. We didn't say much, but that moment stayed with me. And now, I didn't know if he would even hug me when I arrived. When I reached Manchester, I had to ask a young woman for help with directions. My knees weren't what they used to be, and the noise around me felt like too much. Buses, car horns, people talking fast. But I walked. Slowly, carefully, holding on to my bag like it was something precious. I stood in front of his house for a moment. It was tall and modern. A red door, white curtains. I thought about the time when we were living happily. I also wanted to go back, but with the trembling hands I rang the bell, my hands slightly shaking. After a few seconds, Claire opened the door. We both looked at each other after 7 years. Now my eyesight has become weak, but I recognized Claire. She also knew who I was, but she was not looking happy to see me, as she was surprised. She smiled politely. Not warmly, just politely. "Oh, hello, Margaret," she said. It stung a little. Not Mom, not even Mrs. Hill, just Margaret. "Is Edward home?" I asked, smiling, trying not to sound too excited. "He's upstairs. I'll call him." She let me in. The house smelled of new furniture and candles. Everything looked neat, but it didn't feel like home. Not like the house in Canterbury, where pictures hang a little crooked, and the cushions are soft from years of use. Edward came downstairs after a minute or two. He looked tired, older. He wore a shirt without ironing it, and his hair was more gray than I remembered. I looked at him carefully. "Mom," he said with a small smile, and for a moment, my heart melted. I stood up, opened my arms. He gave me a light hug, not tight, not long, but still, it was a hug. We sat and talked about work, weather, and a bit of politics. Claire made tea, but not the way I liked it. No sugar. I didn't complain. I sipped it slowly, nodding at the right places. Then there was silence. A long one. I looked at Edward and asked, "Are you happy, love?" I asked softly. He looked away for a second. "I'm fine, Mom. Just tired. Work's been heavy." I looked at him carefully. My voice shook, but I let it out. "You know, Edward, I don't need grand things. I don't care if you call me every day. But I do care that I've become a stranger in your life. Edward, do you ever think of me when you sit in this house? Do you ever wonder if your mother waits by the window, listening for a phone call that never comes?" He looked startled. His eyes blinked fast. I continued, "I'm not angry, love. I'm just tired of pretending I'm fine when I'm not. I boil 2 cups of tea every Sunday. One for me, one for you, and then I pour yours down the sink. It's silly, I know, but it makes me feel like you're still a part of my life. He looked up at me, surprised. Do you remember, I continued, when you were 7, you had a nightmare and came running into my room crying. I didn't ask you to explain. I just held you till you slept. That's what love is. Quiet, simple, but always there. Edward leaned forward slowly, his eyes now glassy. He placed his hand on mine. Ma'am, I didn't mean to forget. I didn't mean to make you feel alone. I thought I was being a grown man handling my life, my marriage, my job. But all I really did was push away the one person who never stopped loving me. I didn't need you to be strong, I whispered. I just needed you to remember me. Tears ran down my cheek, warm and quiet. He reached out and took my hand. This time, tighter than before. I remember, Mom. I do. And I miss you. I really do. I wanted to say so much. I wanted to tell him that I missed him. That I waited for his calls. That I sat alone on Sunday evenings thinking about our old games and bedtime stories. But I stayed quiet. I just smiled. After a while, I gave him the biscuits. He chuckled. You still make these? He asked. Every Sunday, I said. Even if no one comes over. He looked at me then. Really looked. His eyes softened, and he reached for my hand. I'm sorry, ma'am, he said in a low voice. I've been distant. I held his hand tight. I know, I whispered. But I'm here now. His voice cracked, and he looked away. I've missed you. I miss how you listen without judgment. How you still bring me biscuits, like I'm 10. I've missed having a place where I don't have to wear a mask. We sat like that for a while, just sitting. No big talks, no deep words, just the warmth of a hand in another. When I left that evening, he walked me to the train station. The rain had stopped. A small breeze played with the leaves on the ground. As the train pulled away, I saw him wave. A soft, slow wave. And for the first time in years, I felt seen. That night, as I sat in my old armchair with a cup of sweet tea, I smiled. The visit wasn't perfect. It wasn't like old times, but it was something. A new start, maybe. A quiet hope. Sometimes, all a mother needs is a little space in her child's busy world, just enough to sit and sip tea, and be remembered. A mother is the only person who can love you before she even meets you. And it's true. From the moment a child is born, a mother changes. Her body aches, her sleep disappears, her dreams become smaller, because all she now wants is for her child to be happy. She forgets her own needs so easily. If her child is cold, she'll give her own shawl. If he's hungry, she'll stay empty just to feed him. She doesn't ask for thanks. She doesn't wait for gifts. Her reward is a smile on her child's face. Her peace is in hearing that voice at the end of the day. And yet, as we grow up, we often forget. We forget the hands that held us when we were too weak to stand. We forget the eyes that stayed awake all night when we had a fever. We forget the voice that told us bedtime stories, again and again, even after a long day of work. And in this forgetting, something inside her begins to break quietly, slowly, painfully. She doesn't complain. Mothers never do. She just smiles when you call after days. She acts strong when you cancel a visit. She tells you she understands when deep down, she's just missing her child. Time is cruel. It doesn't warn you before it takes away moments. And one day, you'll look up from your phone, your job, your busy life, and realize how much she waited. How many cups of tea she made hoping you'd visit. How many times she opened the window when a car passed by, wondering if it was you. How many birthdays she remembered when you forgot hers. How many prayers she whispered with your name in them. And you'll feel a silence too heavy to carry. I've seen mothers sit by the window with a smile that never quite reaches their eyes. I've seen them count footsteps in the hallway, thinking their child is coming. I've seen them keep old toys, tiny socks, broken school medals, holding on to whatever little pieces they have left, because that's what mothers do. They hold on, even when we let go. So why do we wait? Why do we wait until it's too late to say I love you? Why do we wait until a hospital bed becomes the only place left to talk? Why do we run behind the world and leave behind the one person who never ran from us? Your mother, your first home, your safest place, your biggest fans, not going to be here forever. We owe them more than just money or gifts. We owe them our time, our presence, our love. We owe them warm conversations, shared meals, gentle hugs, and laughter that reminds them they're not forgotten. They don't want grand things. They just want you. They want to know you still need them. That you remember the stories, the songs, the comfort only they gave. That you haven't replaced them with strangers and screens. When a mother loves, she loves with her whole soul. And when she's gone, nothing, no money, no fame, no success can fill that space in your heart. You'll miss her voice, calling your name. You'll miss her soft hands on your head. You'll miss how she remembered the smallest details you thought didn't matter. And in those moments of longing, you'll wish for one more chance. Just one. So don't wait. Not for Sunday. Not for a holiday. Not for when it's easy. Call your mother today. Visit your parents today. Sit with them without rushing. Listen to their old stories, even if you've heard them before. Hold their hands and tell them, you matter. You always have. Because the truth is, parents don't want to feel like guests in their children's lives. They want to feel like they still belong. And if your parents are no longer here, then honor them by loving those who still are. By being kind to the elderly. By not letting another mother or father sit alone on a bench, waiting for someone who never comes. This life moves fast, but nothing in it is more valuable than the love of a mother and father. Their time is running out. Quietly, softly. Give them yours while you still can. Because one day, you'll open a door, and no one will be waiting. One day, you'll reach for the phone, and no one will answer. One day, their chair will be empty. Their laughter will be just an echo. Their love, still strong, but only living inside you. Make today count. Here are some of the meanings of words and phrases used in this story. Stung a little. Hurt, emotionally. Even if not badly. Not warmly, just politely. Friendly but not full of love. Sat by the window, watching trees blur. Friendly but not full of love. Not what they used to be. Not as strong or good as before. Held his hand. A sign of love, comfort. Waved softly. A gentle goodbye with the hand. A new start. A hopeful beginning. Quiet hope. A small but strong feeling of hope. Please subscribe my channel, like and share my video. Thank you.